yes, it's a bit of an old wet day today, but my flowers are looking nice. And yeah, I got some water lilies coming up, so hopefully this year there will be a couple of lovely blooms. And Buddha's got some cobwebs on him. Yes, my petunias are coming up too. They're looking absolutely beautiful. Let's go over here. Yeah. In there, I mean, that's the shed, and it is really looking a bit of a mess. So I think today is not the day to tidy up, but yeah, that's my plan. I think my gooseberry bush is looking quite happy in there, so that's good. Maybe I will get a gooseberry this summer. Cookie, aren't you worried about getting wet? It's really a bit miserable today. Oh, snappy alligator yawn. Hello, Cookie. Is Mommy going to get this garden tidied up? I'm surprised you want to be out when it's wet. Oh well, wee breath of fresh air. Never did anyone any harm. Hello friends, welcome to my new vlog. Yes, as you can see, I think from my opening footage, it is quite a wet day today. I wanted to sort of turn out my fairy shed in the garden and make it all look pretty, but it's been a bit miserable and I just don't really feel I can like throw everything out and it will get damaged by the rain and stuff. So I decided, I think what I'll do instead is I will go to the thrift shop. When in doubt, go thrifting, and I might see some things for the shed. I might not. And then I will show you what I've got. By the way, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Kate. I'm Kate Sanderson. I'm an actor. I moved to this house in Essex about a year ago, and I'm trying to do it up. It's a lot better. And my fairy shed was actually one of the first things that I did. So that was nice, but now it's got quite cluttered up and dirty, and that's kind of the focus of this week's video, though hopefully we'll do other things as well. Behind me here is a lot of cookbooks. Many of these were my mum's cookbooks. She was a wonderful cook. I have not really reached her levels. She was interested in cuisines of all kinds, but if I just look at these, there's a lot of memories of my mum there. So that's nice. Hi guys, back from the thrift shops. It's a rainy afternoon, and I must say I actually like afternoons like this. I feel they're very atmospheric. It's although people complain about the weather in the UK, I think it's really nice that we have different seasons and that there's some variation. I sometimes look at, videos about Florida and, places like that and think it must be amazing to have that blazing sun so much of the time. But also it's nice to have more subtle days, more subtle seasons. And I have to say, I don't think I could live somewhere hot like that all the time, although it is dazzling looking. So I did get some things in the thrift shop. I have to say that when I walked around my thrift shops, I didn't feel that excited by what I saw, but as you'll see, I did actually get some stuff. This did not prevent me from buying things. So I will show you what I've got, and maybe just flip back and forth between looking at me, looking at the stuff. Yes, I got this print of some rabbits. I thought this to me was rather 70s looking. It looks a nice, like, sort of sketch of some rabbits. Anyway, I thought that was very sweet, and there were rabbit paintings in the Holly Trees Museum last week, and I really liked them. So when I saw a rabbit picture, I was gonna grab it, and the whole brown frame and everything, to me it's very 70s. So I like that. Here is some little stamps of numbers and letters, and here I must say that I've kind of been influenced by other people on YouTube, because I've seen them use these sorts of stamps for doing scrapbooking and things, and it all looked so cute that when I saw these, I decided I wanted to do them too. There's also like a moon and an @ sign and, a star and a heart. So anyway, we'll see if I can do some nice scrapbooking with these stamps. I like to use things when I buy them. I don't like them to just sort of sit in the drawer. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I got this sort of purple Filofax because I thought that it would be good for just organizing my YouTube videos and just using it for that and what I've done. And what does this say? Notes, quotes, and scribbles. Okay. This is what in the past would have been called a Filofax, I think, when I was a teenager. So it's a big Filofax, but I thought it would be good to keep this just for YouTube stuff. And then I got these purple plates, which I thought would be rather nice for the garden or for going on a picnic or something. Not that I'm against using plastic plates, anytime. I've got a plastic food tray and I do like it, but I just thought they were rather a pretty colour, and I could take them to my fairy shed and use them there, so that's good. Here we have just a sort of teddy bear. Now, I don't really go a bundle on teddy bears, and I can assure you I'm not going to be buying thousands of these, but I just found this one rather cozy looking, and I thought, particularly in autumn, he could look really, or she could look very nice on a shelf or something. I don't think I would put this in my fairy shed, but we'll see. I might do. I think it's probably had potpourri in it, though there's no... Is there a stopper there? Oh yeah, there's a stopper. I could put some scented potpourri in this teddy, so, well, that's an idea. But I just found it a bit cozy looking, so that's why I got her. I also got this photo frame for like £1 or £2 or something. I have a number of sort of posters that I would like to frame. Like this pink and green one is of a David Hockney exhibition, which I went to a number of years ago, which I've always intended to frame, so I might use it for that. Or, in fact, let me take them out of the packet. Okay, this is a poster of a show I was in, my last show in London that I was in, and I played Lady M. And actually, it's too big for this frame, so that wouldn't go in there. But I'm so happy to have firstly found this poster again, because I brought it here, and it was about all of Shakespeare's heroines. Well, a number of them. They couldn't have put in all of them, but there were a lot, and sort of examining Shakespeare's kind of attitudes to women and stuff. It was a super show and a lovely company, and yeah, it was lovely to be on stage again. That was after my mum's, dementia. That was the first stage show I did. After that, I think, no, and I've not really been on stage again, except for doing rehearsed readings, so that was good. Okay, this is the other poster I was wanting to get a frame for, and again, it's the wrong size for this poster too, so it's a lovely David Hockney poster. It was at the Royal Academy a number of years ago. Let's see, 23rd of May to the 26th of September 2021. Yeah, I have a feeling this was supposed to go on in 2020, and then of course it was coronavirus and it was delayed. I went to this exhibition with my mum and my auntie, and it was just really lovely. Lovely colours. Yeah. Okay, I'll just have to order frames, I think, from Amazon or something of the right sizes. But I'm sure I can use this frame. That was violent. I can use it for something nice. I also lastly got this little mirror to have out in my fairy shed, because if I'm filming out there, it might be useful just to see myself. Sometimes, you know, when you look in the camera, you don't see exactly how your makeup's looking or whatever. So yeah, I got a little old mirror. It's interesting that I guess in the past, all women had a mirror like this, and now it's really considered a bit old-fashioned. But I like it. It's not old-fashioned for me. So I think this should be okay in the fairy shed. We'll just try it anyway. And that is what I got when I went thrifting. Yes, so I hope you've had a good week, friends. I've tried to write to some show business directors and people like that. Just, you know, sometimes as an actor, you just send off communications hoping that they meet someone who's interested in what you have to say. So far, I've had no answers, which doesn't usually affect me. I would say, I don't know, I've been a little bit sad about it. But I mean, why am I surprised? That is the usual when you are an actor and you send off applications for things. So I think I will wrap up today, but tomorrow hopefully it'll be a bit sunnier and nicer. I beg your pardon. And I will then get on to the fairy shed in earnest. Hi guys. After the rain, the sun. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll show you the shed in a minute. It's a much nicer day today, so it's a much better day to tidy out the shed and do a bit of a spruce up. It's yeah, it's not looking good, but then it can only improve. I must say that when I've looked at some of my videos, that I've not liked this here. I think that under that shelf thing, it doesn't look very nice. But of course, I mean, a plastic shelf is good for a shed, because if you had wood, as usual, I don't like my fringe. Oh dear. If you have wood, obviously it can rot eventually, and it will. Mind you, these wooden chairs feel okay. Anyway, let me just pan around the shed a bit. I'll show you what we've got, and then I'll clear things out, dust things down, try and make things look a bit nicer. So here you can see on the floor that the shed's become a bit of a dumping ground for stuff. There's lots of little kind of itty bitty things everywhere. There's lots of sort of cobwebs and all the rest of it. I think some bits, like here, could do with some more pink paint. I'll try and do a little bit more painting today as well. Yeah, I mean, some of it's okay, but yeah, it's in short just anytime I've not quite known what to do with something a bit fairyish, I've just stuck it in here without much rhyme or reason. So yeah, I think now I will just clear things out and have a wipe down and a bit of a sweep up. There's a lot of loose leaves and dirt, and I can see like different sorts of projects and stuff that I've intended to do and then I've not actually done, and some nice things that I can actually use. So I'll just clear everything out. Sad to say, one of my books has got damp in it and got spoiled, so that's a shame. I'm going to need to freshen up some of the paint, and yeah, lots of stuff to do. You maybe can't see, but there's a lot of like cobwebs here, and then there's bits where like the damp has got in, I think, and yeah, it's obviously very dusty, so well, lots for me to do then. And gosh, here's a bit I've never painted. You see that bit? I don't know if you can see it, but there's this bit here. I've not actually painted it ever. Interesting. Oops. All my stuff is really needing to have a complete sort of spruce up and wash. Remember, I got this from the blind box. Okay. How much junk can one person have? Okay. I remember when I freshly painted this shed and I got these shelves in, and it all looked so nice and fresh, but Of course it doesn't last forever, and this spring clean is badly overdue. Okay, finally, one corner pretty much clear. Let's put this out of the way. Okay, it's pretty grimy. Now I've only got all this stuff. Oh my goodness. I've got to stop going on eBay. Okay, we're definitely getting a lot clearer. I'm gonna have to wash the floor and then I think freshen up the paint. Like, here's a sort of plastic cupid I got in a charity shop a while ago, and I think I was gonna do something like with this for Valentine's Day, and of course I just forgot it was here. So this is a very good idea, clearing out this shed. And yeah, just out here it's really not looking good. However, I'll just press on. Finally, a clear deck, and I'm gonna have to wash the floor. And okay, yeah, I'll have a mop round and see how it looks. So I seem to have like sloshed water around, but not actually picked up the dirt in here. So go around everything rather more carefully. Okay, I'm getting there. This was a good job to do. Well, I've done some. It's a bit cleaner now, and so I'm going to let it dry. And I think I'm going to put like some mold spray on the bits that have got a bit damp here. I must say I'm not very pleased because I really did a very extensive mold treatment on especially the roof of the shed when I did the decorating last year. It doesn't seem to have altogether worked. However, I'll leave that for a bit, and I will come back and sort of start to touch up some of the paint. Oh, look at that bit. I mean, I can see that there are bits where the shed is like there's a hole in the wall. Air's just getting in. So yeah, okay. At least I've still got paint left, and I shall come back in 20 minutes or so and try to do a bit of repainting. The floor of the shed to dry. I'm going to try and wipe down my plastic shelves and get those looking nicer. And here I have a bit of Florida water to freshen it up a bit. So hopefully that will mean I have my shelves looking nice again. Okay. It's amazing how dirty things get. Ugh. Oh my goodness, all this mess. Well, it'll be worth it when it's done. And it is a lovely day to be doing this sort of a job. So I've cleaned up these shelves now. They're looking good. And if I step over all this rubbish to come in here, I've got my paint from last year, which still have some left. And so I will now sort of try and tidy up any bits that I think need to be improved. I better take down the bunting as well. It's amazing how sticky cobwebs are. Okay, bunting, there you go. So now I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, now I'll maybe just try and do another coat of paint on these pink bits, just to add to the colour a bit. Yeah, I'll have another, I'll try and see how much I can do, then I'll come back and check in with you in a bit. Okay guys, I'm sort of flagging a bit. I mean, I put on a lot more pink paint, but it is a bit patchy. I'm finding the paint is not really adhering so much as I'd hoped, but it is looking better. There are more spiders than I thought there were. I thought I had less spiders than this. There are bits down here where it looks a little bit kind of as if it's got rotten or something. So maybe I'll go around with the cloth, try and catch up a bit more dirt, and then try and patch up the bits of green paint that are really looking bad. And the windows look filthy as well. Okay. Hi guys, well, it's a lot later. My phone ran out of charge and I just couldn't stop because the day's going in. So I've now repainted the floor. I really did go over the whole floor, but some parts of it are looking a lot more coated than others. And I've refreshed a lot of the pink paint. It's not perfect, but it is feeling a lot cleaner in here. I think maybe like every 6 months or maybe 7 or 8 months you should take out your shed and give it a spruce up, and I think I've just left it a bit long. So now it's starting to look like, you know, it might rain, so I'm gonna take inside anything that can get damaged and leave outside anything plasticky or that seems to be okay, and but hopefully there won't be rain. Oh no, look at me, I've actually got paint in my nose. I don't know why I thought I could perhaps get this like done in one day. No chance. So tomorrow I will get everything back into the shed. The Cookie, the cat, he's really fed up with me. I think he thinks I brought everything into the kitchen. I think he thinks I'm just going to leave it there. But it will be worth it because I think it will look a lot better. I'm sad about how dreadful the rest of the garden's looking, but I'm just hoping that somehow maybe I could get a new turf laid in the autumn. Last year, this time, I didn't know how I would manage to get the fence done, and it was done, and it was wonderful. So, you know, maybe it could work out. Just maybe I'll get a big job or something. Okay, good night for now, and I will see you in the morning. Morning, friends. My goodness, it's another beautiful day outside. Thankfully today I should be able to get everything back into the shed and get it looking nice again. It's been quite a job. I've actually transferred some of my tools to my other little shed, which is great. I've now got to paint that as well. However, it's all go. Summer's here and can do all that stuff. So let's have a look at what I have. Yeah, so here's some of the stuff I've taken out of the shed. I'm a bit, one of my many disappointments, I'm a bit disappointed with these light things. I feel like I've hardly ever used them, and oh, that one's working. Okay, that's good. I tried a number of these and they were not actually, there was no light going on. So okay, let's go into the garden. So a lovely day in a very messy garden, but yeah, I will now get these plastic shelves back in the shed. So I've moved back in my little sort of fairy house coffee table and my big fairy planter that doesn't grow anything. And now I'm going to try and rearrange the shelves. If I step in here, I think another issue with these shelves is that they're so, there's such a long length between the different shelves that actually a lot of space is wasted. I mean, I suppose these are really like for a garage where you pile boxes and stuff up in them, but in a way, if they were like 5 shelves rather than 4 and they were a little bit closer together, it would be simpler. But I have, I think, an idea. I kind of wondered if some of these pink planters that I probably rather foolishly bought turned upside down could kind of stagger the shelf a bit. We'll just see. I'll just try and make something look nice. Okay, so I think it does look like a planter turned upside down, so I'm going to add a bit of fabric on top. Okay, I think that's going to make a prettier kind of backdrop. So I'll try and add a few more items now. Well, I think this is a bit cuter, but I kind of need like a sort of a focal point for the middle. a bit more than the leaf baby, I think. Okay, well, I think that will be quite nice for this shelf. And now I'll try and arrange some more things and see how I get on. But I put like this little baby, fairy baby on a sort of sunflower in the middle. Oh my goodness, I'm so kitsch. Okay. Well, here is a top shelf that's kind of done. And then here's this shelf. This tends to be the shelf I place my phone or my camera to film myself when I'm in here. And I put my little drawers down here. And then I've put the bunting back up, and then I hung this dragonfly from it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna now have a sort of a Halloween, well, pumpkin-y, autumny bit there. Oh dear, I think I'm mad. Well, I've got a bit more stuff put away. Well, kind of put out. I got on the wall, I just put up with a bit of blue tack, this sort of angel picture. It's laminated, so I think it will be safe out here. But yeah, it's I have a windsock there in the corner. You can't really see it. It's that yellow and lime green thing, but I've got no thing that I can securely attach it to, so the next time the handyman comes I can always ask him to do that. Hi friends. Well, it's a lot tidier in here. There's that fresh paint smell is kind of making me feel a bit more cheerful. I would say that I am now really looking at the rest of the garden and indeed my house and feeling like, you know, oh gosh, this is awful. But, you know, sufficient unto the day. I still don't like this thing that you can see here. So I think I have a plan for that, but maybe later today I'll come back and show you what that is, and then that will be the end. I'm having just a cup of tea. Yes, I think when I got my own house, I didn't understand how much work it is to keep a house and garden up. But I mean, I'm so lucky to be here, and it's great, but yeah, okay. I think later today I'll come back and I'll show you my last thing that I've got, and a little look around the whole shed, and then we're done for this vlog. Okay, cheers my dears. I've got a fairy digestive biscuit here. Hi friends. Well, here is the end of the day. I will tell you that I've spent quite a lot of time today in the garden trying to clear up millions of dandelion clocks. I've made a decision that this summer, by hook or by crook, I'm going to earn enough money in the autumn to put some new lawn turf down on that side of the garden. It looks absolutely awful. So that is my ambition for this summer. And here I've got this kind of garland, which has got little flowers and lights in it. Just to make you laugh, I'll tell you that this arrived this morning, and you know the casing that has that you put the batteries into? I couldn't open it. I couldn't get the little plastic box open. I tried a screwdriver, I tried a knife, I was fiddling with it. Anyway, I ended up going to the paint shop and asking the guys there if they would mind opening it, and one of them just took it and he went, he opened it in 1 second, which he also found quite funny. But I felt so ridiculous, but you know, it was worth asking for help, because you know, if I hadn't done that, I would not have my lit up little wreath. So I would say, you know, whenever you tidy something out, like I've tidied out the shed, it is obviously tends to be making it worse before it gets better. But then there's a kind of process you go through, and then when it's finished, it is better. But you do feel as if you've kind of gone slightly mad in the process. But no, I mean, it's much fresher. I think I do have to keep an eye on this shed. I would say a part of the trouble with me and with my kind of schedule is that I seem to be sometimes just so busy I don't have a moment to stop. I'm going here, I'm going there, and you know, there's no time. So things like this kind of pile up. And then eventually some time comes and I can make an improvement, and I will. And it's really done me good to remind myself that this time last year I had this awful broken down fence in the garden, and now there's a lovely new fence. So it is possible I can get a turf put down. I would try and do it myself, but I mean, I'm just not very strong, and the amount you have to dig down to get rid of the weeds is very deep, and I think really it's a job for a professional, or you know, someone who's a very, very good amateur gardener, which I'm really not. So maybe this time next year I will have a lovely lawn there, and all this kind of this will be a thing of the past. But no, it's been good, and it's amazing with a garden how, you know, how much better you feel after being in the open air, even though I've done a lot of bending over today, which is probably bad for my back. But just that fresh air coursing over you all the time is lovely. And yeah, gosh, I've got rid of a lot of weeds. I also found in the border at the side there, I found like things for like vape, which have probably been there for years. I found cigarette packets, bits of plastic rubbish. Yeah, it's even just tidying those things up was a good job done. So here we go. Maybe I'll just very quickly show you a little shot of the whole shed, and then that's it. I'll shut up and that will be the end of the vlog. So hang on. So here is the kind of main event. I really wanted this garland because, as I said to you, I didn't like the way the underside of the shelf looked when I was kind of filming. And then I've got this kind of fairy diorama here. I think it's a bit fussy, you know, I think it's really not cool, but for the time being it's there. And it's also good to use those pink planters, which, I mean, my garden is far too overgrown to have those now. Anyway, so at the top here, that's actually a bit better. Really, I've got my unicorns and that fairy in the basket, and it's not so it's not so complex. And then I have here got like a little pumpkin area. I'm afraid to say I did look on eBay today, see if there were any more fairy pumpkin houses, but there was really none I could afford. I still haven't found the backs to these chairs. I think I'll give it this summer, then I will try to I'll just replace the whole thing, the whole seat cover back thing. Here it's much clearer. I've taken my books inside, so that's good. And I've also, although you may not realize it, I have cleaned the Perspex windows. Oh, they look very cloudy. Well, they are old. Like this one is one of the new ones that I bought, and it's much cleaner looking, but the others are very old. And here is this shelf with more fairy figurines. Here's the top with more gubbins. And then here I've got my little chest of drawers for like seeds and stuff is there. And my nest is there that I got in B&M stores. And the other chair and my other fairy stuff. And then here's my bunting. I think I would like to put up some other, like maybe laminated cards or things that won't get damaged here. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Well, friends, I think I'll just end the vlog there for today. When I think back to the utter mess and chaos that this garden and this shed was in yesterday when I was painting it, it seems an enormous transformation, and I think I've got to take that into myself and remind myself going forward that Rome wasn't built in a day, and I can do anything I set my mind to. So let's see what will happen this summer. I wish you a lovely week, and I will see you on my next vlog.